Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next half an hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to once again interact with the students in second episode of 9th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha. Prime Minister will share mantras for success with children. Seychelles President Armeni to meet President Draupadi Murmu and hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Japan Takaichi on landmark victory. Liberal Democratic Party-led coalition projected to secure a massive majority. Nikkei jumps 4%. Jimmy Lai to be sentenced in Hong Kong's top national security case amid global calls for his release. And in sports, India knocks out world number 6 Netherlands in a dramatic victory in Davis Cup, seals spot in qualifiers round 2. Good morning to all the viewers joining us at this morning broadcast. To begin with the latest. Well, Charcha or discussion on stress-free examination continues as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to interact with the students in the second episode of Pariksha Pe Charcha at 10 a.m. according to Indian Standard Time. Now, during the session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share insights on exam preparation, stress management and other challenges faced by the students appearing for board examinations. The 2026 edition recorded over 4.5 crore registrations with an additional 2.26 crore participants engaging in associated activities, taking the overall participation to 6.76 crores individually. The first episode, aired on the 6th of February, saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi responding to a wide range of students' questions. Topics included managing the guests during the examination session, importance of skill versus marks, and pursuing gaming as a hobby, along with more. Moving on, President of Seychelles, Dr. Armeni, who is on a 5-day visit to India, arrived in New Delhi on Sunday. Upon his arrival, President Armeni was warmly received by India's Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Anupriya Patel, at the airport and was accorded a ceremonial welcome. President Armeni will meet President Draupadi Murmu and hold discussions with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interests. Now, the visit of Seychelles President coincides with the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Greek Defence Minister Nikos Dendias is also visiting India, with today being the last day of his 4-day visit. Today, he will lay a wreath at National War Memorial here in New Delhi. Later, he will inspect Tri-Service Guard of Honour in the presence of Indian counterpart Rajnath Singh. This will be followed by a bilateral meeting at Manekshaw Centre. On Sunday, the visiting Defence Minister was in Bengaluru, where he had the opportunity of being hosted at defence facilities and being briefed on India's innovation ecosystem. He visited public and leading private companies which are active in the area of defence innovation and the development of cutting-edge technologies. Dendias said the prospect for cooperation between the Greece defence ecosystem and its India counterpart is important and substantial. He added that the aim is the transfer of technical knowledge and the development of strategic synergies in defence sector. India is stepping into a new era of artificial intelligence, not just in technology hubs, but right down to the farmlands as well. Now, as New Delhi gears up to host the world's largest AI Impact Summit, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled a groundbreaking initiative in the Union Budget 2026-27 called Bharat Vistar. Now, this AI-powered tool promises to transform agriculture, empowering farmers with data-driven decisions and smarter access to the resources. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay brings us more. Take a look.
New Delhi will host the India AI Impact Summit from February 16 to 20, 2026, expected to be the largest among the 4 global AI summits held so far. With over 35,000 registrations already received and participation anticipated from more than 100 countries, the summit aims to reflect growing global momentum around responsible, inclusive and impact-driven artificial intelligence. The summit will focus not just on vision, but on real-world execution and outcomes that directly benefit people. With agriculture emerging as a key priority for India, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Union Budget 2026-27 announced the launch of Bharat Vistar, a multilingual AI-powered agricultural platform designed to transform how farmers access information, services and markets.
I propose to launch Bharat Vistar, a multilingual AI tool that shall integrate the AgriStack portals and the ICAR package on agricultural practices with AI systems. This will enhance farm productivity, enable better decisions for farmers, and reduce risk by providing customized advisory support.
Bharat Vistar, or virtually integrated system to access agricultural resources, will be a multilingual AI tool that will integrate the AgriStock portals and the ICAR package on agricultural practices with AI systems. Vistar is an open, interoperable and federated public network dedicated to agricultural information and advisory services. A decentralized repository, it will facilitate the discovery and fulfillment of verified agricultural content, best practices, and agri-skilling across diverse private and public provider platforms, enhancing farm productivity through data-driven and timely interventions, improving farmer decision-making at every stage, input crop production market by providing accurate, localized insights, best practices and data services, reducing market risks via customized crop and region-specific advisory support, supporting government in real-time monitoring, improved delivery of agriculture extension services and targeted intervention. Artificial intelligence is transforming Indian agriculture through precision-driven farming techniques, AI-powered crop monitoring using drones and satellite imagery, smart irrigation systems, and advanced pest and disease detection tools are helping farmers reduce losses while improving productivity.
From global leadership in AI to transformation in agriculture sector at the grassroots level, India is using technology for its inclusive growth and rural development. With camera person Rajkumar, this is Rahul Upadhyay reporting from New Delhi for DD India.
India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval visited Ottawa on the 6th and 7th of February as part of the regular India-Canada bilateral security dialogue, holding talks with Canada's National Security and Intelligence Advisor to Prime Minister Nathalie Drouin. Both the sides reviewed progress in bilateral security cooperation and agreed on a shared work plan to strengthen collaboration on national security and law enforcement priorities. The two countries decided to establish security and law enforcement liaison officers to streamline communication and enable timely information sharing on issues such as drug trafficking, particularly fentanyl precursors and transnational organized crime. Now, as alarm bells in Jammu and Kashmir over a massive winter precipitation deficit, experts warn that the region is heading towards a serious water crisis. With snowfall crucial for glaciers, agriculture and hydropower, scientists and environmentalists are calling for urgent long-term policy and farming reforms. Here's more.
Alarm bells are ringing in Jammu and Kashmir. According to the local meteorological department, the Union Territory has recorded below normal precipitation for the past couple of years, with the deficit reaching an alarming 54% this winter since October 2025. Winter precipitation is the lifeline of Jammu and Kashmir, sustaining its agriculture and horticulture sectors, feeding rivers and reservoirs crucial for hydropower generation, and ensuring the availability of drinking water.
खदशा ज़रूर है कि जो विंटर प्रेसिपिटेशन है वो कहीं ना कहीं
There is a concern that the winter precipitation that works as a lifeline in the Himalayan region, like Jammu and Kashmir, requires timely snowfall. This keeps the glaciers recharged timely and impacts a lot of things associated with it, like hydroelectric generation, irrigation, drinking water. In addition, a lot of things are dependent on water, like the agricultural or horticultural sector.
जो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर के लिए चाहिए हॉर्टिकल्चर सेक्टर के लिए चाहिए
According to weather experts, the situation calls for adoption of long-term strategies, especially in farming practices. This includes shifting to low-water demand crop varieties, reviewing paddy cultivation patterns, and significantly improving water use efficiency across all agricultural activities.
तो आपको लॉन्ग टर्म एडेप्टिव मेजर्स जो है आपको लेना ही पड़ेगा
We need to take long-term adaptive measures, especially regarding paddy cultivation. We need to grow varieties whose water requirement is less. There is also high-density orchard farming. What are the water requirements of these activities? And we must also work on increasing water efficiency. In the long term, we need to keep all of this in focus in the horticulture sector. The general public should also use water judiciously.
एग्रीकल्चर हॉर्टिकल्चर सेक्टर में
In addition, some experts are also calling for science-based policies such as reduced carbon footprints, eco-friendly transport, and checks on industrial expansion. The High Court had intervened almost a decade ago on PILs filed by environmental lawyers. However, according to the petitioner, the suggestions put forward by the amicus curiae in the case are yet to be implemented.
Honorable High Court intervened almost a decade back on our PILs, and they were of the opinion that the state government that time and now the UT government this time must act upon the directions and the suggestions given by my office as an amicus curiae.
As Jammu and Kashmir deals with this growing crisis, experts say it's time for communities, policymakers, and institutions to act together before the situation worsens further.
We are heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side. Iran once again rejects US demands to abandon uranium enrichment, warns it will not be pressured by military threats. Tejaswini Shankar bags gold at Asian Indoor Athletics Championship.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you. With majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. अरे it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Live. Well, Iran has once again rejected US demands to abandon uranium enrichment, warning it will not be pressured by military threats. The comments come as Tehran and Washington resume nuclear negotiations for the first time in years. Here's more.
Iran has reaffirmed it will not give up uranium enrichment despite US threats of war. Speaking in Tehran on Sunday, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran would not be intimidated by US military deployments, including aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, and insisted no country has the rights to dictate Iran's actions.
The Islamic Republic of Iran has paid a very heavy price for its peaceful nuclear program and for uranium enrichment. Why do we insist so much on enrichment and refuse to give it up, even if a war is imposed on us? Because no one
has the right to dictate our behavior. If Iran insists on enrichment, it is because it refuses all domination.
His comments came as Iran and the United States resumed indirect nuclear talks in Oman for the first time in years. Tehran is seeking sanctions relief in exchange for confidence building steps on its nuclear program. Western countries and Israel accuse Iran of pursuing nuclear weapons, a claim Tehran denies. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet US President Donald Trump in Washington on Wednesday, where Iran will be high on the agenda. Following indirect nuclear talks in Oman, officials from both sides said further discussions are likely to take place. However, Arakchi expressed deep mistrust of Washington, questioning its commitment to negotiations amid new US sanctions and continued military signals.
The imposition of new sanction and military action raised doubt about the seriousness and readiness of the other side to conduct genuine negotiation. We are closely monitoring the situation, accessing all these signals, and will decide whether to continue the negotiations.
Despite rising tensions, both sides say diplomacy remains the only path forward as efforts continue to prevent wider conflict. Rabindra Chauhan's report for DD India.
Israel's President Isaac Herzog laid a wreath on Monday at the site of a mass shooting that killed 15 people celebrating a Jewish festival on Sydney's Bondi Beach. The head of state paid respect in the rain outside Bondi Pavilion to the victims of December the 14th attack as he embarked on a tightly secured 4-day visit to console the Jewish Australian community. He met the survivors and the families of people killed in the shooting and said people of all faiths will overcome this evil that killed people celebrating a Jewish festival. After years of long legal battle, Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai is set to be sentenced on Monday in the financial hub's most high-profile national security case. Jimmy Lai has arrived at the court for sentencing. Well, the sentence follows a legal case that has lasted nearly 5 years. Lai, the founder of the now-closed Apple Daily newspaper, was convicted last year of 2 counts of conspiracy to collude with foreign forces and 1 count of publishing seditious materials. He was first arrested in August 2020. The 78-year-old, who now faces the prospect of life behind the bars, has denied all the charges against him, saying in the court he is a political prisoner facing persecution from Beijing. Lai's situation has drawn criticism from world leaders, including US President Donald Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starmer raised Lai's case during a private meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping last month in Beijing. Trump also discussed Lai's case with Xi during a meeting last October. Western diplomats told that talks to secure Lai's release are likely to begin after he is sentenced. From New York to UK, Epstein files shed light on its sprawling ranch. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, quit on Sunday, saying he took the responsibility for advising Starmer to name Peter Mandelson as the ambassador to the US, despite his known links to Jeffrey Epstein. After new files revealed the depth of the Labour veteran's relationship with the late sex offender, Starmer is facing what is widely seen as the gravest crisis of his 18 months in power over his decision to send Mandelson to Washington in 2024. Norway's foreign ministry said a prominent ambassador, Mona Juul, would step down due to a serious failure of judgment over ties to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, part of a growing scandal in the Nordic country and across the Europe. The ministry earlier this week suspended Juul from her position as the ambassador to Jordan and Iraq, pending an internal inquiry of links to Epstein found in a massive set of files released by the United States government. US President Donald Trump has said he will host Chinese leader Xi Jinping at the White House later this year as the world's top two economies look forward to reset ties marred by a roiling trade war. Trump made the comment in an interview with a news channel days after holding a phone call with him. He said that with Xi, he had a wide-ranging conversation about trade, Taiwan, Russia-Ukraine conflict and the situation in Iran. Now, Trump described the conversation as excellent and claimed the two countries are on friendly terms. Relations between the two countries have been rocky, however, and last year, Trump instigated a bitter trade war with Beijing. Now, meanwhile, Trump is expected to go to China in the month of April before Xi would then visit the United States. On to Japan now. Japanese Prime Minister Seychelles Takaichi's coalition swept to a historic election victory on Sunday, paving the way for promised tax cuts that have spooked financial markets and military spending. The conservative Takaichi, Japan's first female leader, delivered 316 seats of the 465 in Parliament's lower house of a Liberal Democratic Party. With coalition partner Japan Innovation Party Ishin, Takaichi now holds a two-thirds supermajority. Now, this eases her legislative agenda by allowing her to override the upper chamber, which she does not control. Running against the coalition is Japan's largest opposition, the centrist Reform Alliance Party, led by former Prime Minister Yoshihiko Noda and Tetsuo Saito. The Liberal Democratic Party alone sailed past the 233 seats needed for a majority less than 2 hours after the polls closed, on track for one of its best ever election results. Takaichi's strong mandate could accelerate her plans to bolster Japan's defences. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a social media post said and congratulated Seychelles Takaichi on her landmark victory in the elections to the House of Representatives in Japan. He further said in the post that a strategic, special and global partnership plays a vital role in enhancing global peace, stability and prosperity. Prime Minister expressed confidence that under Takaichi's able leadership, the India-Japan friendship will be taken to greater heights. Japanese stock jumped to record peaks while bonds slid after Prime Minister Takaichi's landslide victory. Japan's benchmark stock index soared more than 5% on Monday. The Nikkei briefly jumped more than 5% before settling at 56,919 points, marking the first time the index has climbed above 56,000. Now, despite concerns over the fiscal cost of these measures, the yen strengthened, gaining 0.33% to the dollar after dipping in early trading. Takaichi's resounding victory paves the way for increased fiscal stimulus and a massive tax cut. Takaichi vowed to pursue a responsive and proactive fiscal policy. 11 women's rights groups submitted a memorandum to the Election Commission calling for the cancellation of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Shafiqur Rahman's candidacy over misogynistic and demeaning remarks about working women. The group said his comments on X insulted women, violated constitutional equality and undermined their economic contributions, especially in the garment sector. They rejected Jamaat's claim that his account was hacked, citing a lack of evidence and contradictory to police statements. The memorandum demanded a public apology, withdrawal of the remarks and action under the Electoral Code of Conduct. After meeting EC officials, Dhaka University Professor Samina Lutfa warned of recurring threats to women's safety during elections, while Gantantrik Biplobi Party leader Mosherafa Mishu said inaction would erode public trust. Separately, Gantantrik Chukta Front leaders held a protest at the National Press Club, urging the Election Commission and interim government to act and warn against normalizing the political insult of women. Moving on to sports now. India sealed a place in Davis Cup qualifier round 2 after clinching a dramatic victory over world number 6 Netherlands in Bengaluru. Dakshineshwar Suresh announced himself as India's newest Davis Cup match winner, sealing a stirring 3-2 victory over the Netherlands by clinching the decisive fifth rubber and guiding the hosts into qualifiers round 2. Dakshineshwar won both his singles matches and partnered Yuki Bhamri to victory in the doubles, completing a rare 3-victory haul in a single tie for India. The victory against the Netherlands helped India progress to the second round of the Davis Cup qualifiers scheduled in September. They will be up against fellow Asian side of the Republic of Korea in the tie, and a victory there will see them progress to the finals to contest for the title. In athletics, Tejashwin Shankar won men's heptathlon event to clinch India's lone gold at Asian Indoor Athletics Championship campaign with 5 medals on Sunday. The 4 medals on Sunday saw India finish 6th overall with 5 medals in total, including 1 gold, 2 bronze and 2 silver medals. On his way to winning the gold medal, Shankar collected 5,993 points to better his own national indoor mark of 5,650 points set in 2021 in the USA. Shankar's total point at the tournament was also a championship record and saw him register the second best score ever by an Asian. And with this, it's a wrap here on DD India Live, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. Stay tuned. Namaskar.